March 3rd, 1945. Hürtgen Forest, Germany. Dawn breaks cold and wet. Mud clings to boots. Fog hangs low over shattered trees and cratered roads. In a battered motor pool, Private First Class Tom Wrench, Miller wipes grease from his hands, breath steaming in the chill. His eyes lock on a Jeep hood-up, engine patched with baling wire, a homemade gasket, and a farm boy fix no one believes in. The radio crackles, convoy rolling in 5. Mechanics laugh, voices echoing off the tin roof. That thing won't make a mile, Miller. Another shakes his head. You'll be walking home by noon. Miller just nods, slides behind the wheel, and turns the key. The engine coughs, sputters, then roars to life. He feels the vibration through the seat, the familiar rattle of bolts he tightened by hand. Outside, the convoy forms up, trucks, half-tracks, Jeeps line up in the mud. Miller's Jeep stands out, paint chipped, tires worn but ready. The squad leader waves him forward. Miller grips the wheel, heart pounding. In the next 30 days, this Jeep will survive 17 missions, while others fall by the wayside. The doubters are watching. The legend is about to begin. Spring 1945. The Western Front is a sea of mud and shattered trees. The U.S. Army moves on wheels, trucks, half-tracks, and above all, Jeeps. There are more than 600,000 Jeeps in Europe. They are light, fast, and everywhere, but the mud is relentless. The cold seeps into every bolt. Engines seize. Axles snap. Radiators freeze and crack. Mechanics work around the clock. Hands numb. Faces streak with oil. Private First Class Tom Miller is a farm boy from Iowa. He grew up fixing tractors with baling wire and chewing gum. His father taught him to improvise, to trust his hands, to never give up on a machine. Miller's Jeep is his lifeline. He knows every sound, every rattle, every quirk. When the engine seizes on a frozen morning, the other mechanics shake their heads. She's done, Tom. Scrap her for parts. The officers are skeptical. We don't have time for experiments. But Miller refuses to quit. He strips the engine down to block. He cuts a new gasket from a piece of leather, shapes a valve by hand, and uses a trick he learned in his father's barn, packing the bearings with a mix of grease and soap. He works by lantern light, breath fogging in the cold. The other mechanics laugh. That's a farm boy fix, not a field fix. Miller just shrugs, wipes his hands, and bolts the engine back together. The Jeep coughs, sputters, then roars to life. The sound is rough, uneven, but steady. Miller grins. The officers watch, arms crossed, waiting for the engine to die. It doesn't. The Jeep is assigned to a recon unit. Its survival will be tested on the front lines. The recon unit is the tip of the spear. Their job is to scout enemy positions, run supply and message runs, and keep the main force moving. The missions are brutal. 30 days, 17 runs, no backup. The roads are mined, the forest full of ambushes. Every mile is a risk. Every breakdown could mean death. Miller double-checks every bolt, every hose, every patch. He listens to the engine, feels a vibration through the seat. The Jeep is battered, paint chipped, tires worn, but ready. The other mechanics watch, waiting for failure. The officers keep their distance, unwilling to trust a fix that wasn't in the manual. The first mission is a test. The Jeep bounces over rutted roads, mud splattering the windshield. Miller listens to every sound, every vibration. The convoy hits a minefield. One Jeep is lost. Miller's keeps going. Rain turns the roads to rivers. The engine sputters, but Miller coaxes it forward. The squad faces ambushes, artillery, and breakdowns. Each night, Miller works by lantern light, tightening bolts, patching leaks, praying the fix will hold. The laughter fades. The tension builds. The legend of the farm boy fix grows. The Jeep survives mission after mission. The other vehicles fall broken, burned, abandoned. Miller's Jeep keeps rolling. The doubters start to believe. The officers take notice. The war moves on, but the story is just beginning. The impossible is about to become real. March 4th, 1945. Hürtgen Forest. The recon unit gathers in a muddy tent, canvas flapping in the wind. Lanterns cast yellow light on faces streaked with dirt. Maps are spread across a battered crate. Corners pinned by empty ration tins and a .45 Colt. The air smells of wet wool, diesel, and fear. Sergeant Davis stands at the front, voice low and steady. 17 missions, 30 days. No backup. We run supplies, carry messages, scout enemy lines. Mines, ambushes, flooded roads. If you break down, you're on your own. He taps the map, finger tracing a red line through the forest. We move at 0600. No stragglers. Private First Class Tom Miller stands by his Jeep, hands in his pockets, eyes on the engine. The hood is up. The motor is patched with baling wire, a homemade gasket, a hand-cut valve. The other mechanics gather around, shaking their heads. It's a farm fix, not a field fix. One mutters. Another laughs. That thing won't last a day. Miller ignores them. He double-checks every bolt, every hose, every patch. He knows what's at stake. The Jeep is loaded, ammo crates, ration boxes, a battered radio. The tires are worn, the paint chipped, the windshield cracked. Miller slides behind the wheel, heart pounding. He feels the vibration through the seat, the familiar rattle of bolts he tightened by hand. The engine coughs, sputters, then roars to life. The sound is rough, uneven, but steady. The squad leader nods. You're up front, Miller. Lead the way. The men gather their gear, helmets, rifles, ponchos, extra socks. The tension is thick. Rain drums on the canvas. The ground is a sea of mud. The radio crackles, convoy rolling in 5. Miller wipes sweat from his brow, breath steaming in the cold. He glances at the other Jeeps, newer, cleaner, but already showing signs of wear. He wonders if his fix will hold. Sergeant Davis reviews the route. First leg, 6 miles. Watch for mines. Second leg, through the woods, enemy patrols reported. Third leg, across the river. Bridge is out. We ford at the shallow. The men nod, faces grim. They know the risks. They know the cost of failure. The mechanics check the engine one last time. Oil level, coolant, fuel. You sure about this, Miller? One asks. Miller nods. She'll make it. The mechanic shrugs, wipes his hands on a rag, and steps back. The laughter is gone. The doubt remains. The order comes. Move out at 0600. No stragglers. The men file out, boots squelching in the mud. Miller grips the wheel, knuckles white. The engine idles, rough but alive. The convoy forms up, trucks, half-tracks, Jeeps. Miller's Jeep stands out, paint chipped, tires worn but ready. The first mission is a test. The Jeep bounces over rutted roads, mud splattering the windshield. Miller listens to every sound, every vibration. The convoy hits a minefield. One Jeep is lost. Miller's keeps going. Rain turns the roads to rivers. The engine sputters, but Miller coaxes it forward. The squad faces ambushes, artillery, and breakdowns. Each night, Miller works by lantern light, tightening bolts, patching leaks, praying the fix will hold. The other mechanics watch, waiting for failure. The officers keep their distance, unwilling to trust a fix that wasn't in the manual. Miller's hands shake as he turns a key each morning. The engine coughs, then roars to life. The Jeep survives mission after mission. The laughter fades. The tension builds. The legend of the farm boy fix grows. The Jeep keeps rolling. The other vehicles fall broken, burned, abandoned. Miller's Jeep leads the way, day after day, mile after mile. The doubters start to believe. The officers take notice. The war moves on, but the story is just beginning. The impossible is about to become real. The first mission is a test. The convoy rolls out at dawn, headlights cutting through the fog. Miller's Jeep bounces over rutted roads, mud splattering the windshield, wipers squealing against the glass. The engine rattles, coughs, then settles into a rough, steady growl. Miller listens to every sound, every vibration. He knows this machine better than his own heartbeat. The forest is a maze of shattered trees and cratered earth. The squad moves slow, eyes scanning for mines. The radio crackles. Watch your spacing. Keep it tight. The lead Jeep hits a mine. The explosion lifted off the ground metal and mud raining down. The column halts. Medics rush forward. Miller's hands tighten on the wheel. He feels the fear, the doubt, the eyes of the other drivers. His Jeep keeps going. Rain turns the roads to rivers. Water seeps into boots, soaks through uniforms. The engine sputters, chokes on wet, but Miller coaxes it forward. He taps the gas, eases the clutch, listens for the telltale knock of trouble. The Jeep shudders, but the farm boy fix holds. The convoy pushes on. Ambush. Machine guns chatter from the treeline. Bullets snap past a windshield. Miller ducks, slams the Jeep into gear, swerves off the road. The squad returns fire, rifles cracking, grenades arcing into the brush. The Jeep takes a hit. Shrapnel tears a hole in the fender. Miller feels the sting of metal, the rush of adrenaline. He keeps driving. Artillery. Shells burst overhead. Trees splintering. Earth erupting in geysers of mud. The Jeep bounces through the chaos, tires slipping on roots and rocks. Miller's knuckles are white on the wheel. The engine whines, but never quits. The squad leader shouts, "Keep moving, don't stop." Miller obeys. Each night, Miller works by lantern light. He tightens bolts, patches leaks, wipes oil from the block. His hands are raw, nails black with grease. He prays the fix will hold. The other mechanics watch from the shadows, waiting for failure. They whisper, "It's just luck. It can't last." Miller ignores them. He trusts his hands, his father's lessons, the stubborn heart of machine. Mission after mission, the Jeep survives. The roads get worse. The weather gets colder. The squad faces more ambushes, more mines, more breakdowns. Trucks are abandoned, half-tracks burned, Jeeps left in ditches. Miller's keeps rolling. The laughter fades. The tension builds. The legend of the farm boy fix grows. Drivers from other units come to see the Jeep. They run their hands over the patched engine, shake their heads, ask Miller for advice. He shows them the gasket, the hand-cut valve, the trick with the grease and soap. Some try it. Some fail. Miller's Jeep keeps going. The officers take notice. The squad leader, Sergeant Davis, starts assigning Miller to the toughest runs, night missions, supply drops, wounded evacuations. "If anyone can make it, it's you, Tom." Miller nods, loads a Jeep, and drives into the dark. The missions blur together. 17 in 30 days. Each one a gauntlet, mines, mud, machine guns, mortars. Miller's Jeep hauls ammo, rations, wounded men. It tows a broken half-track off the road. It fords a river, exhaust bubbling underwater. Engine never missing a beat. The squad starts to believe. The other mechanics stop laughing. They watch Miller work, ask questions, take notes. The Jeep becomes a symbol of grit, of hope, of the power of stubbornness and skill. The legend spreads. The farm boy fix is no longer a joke. It's a lifeline. But the war is not over. The danger is not gone. Every mission is a risk. Every mile is a test. Miller knows the odds. He knows the cost. He knows that one mistake, one broken part, could mean the end. The tension never fades. The Jeep keeps rolling. The legend grows. The impossible is still ahead. March 10th, 1945. Mission 3. The forest is a maze of mud and shattered trees. The Jeep bounces over roots, engine rattling, headlights flickering in the gloom. Miller feels every jolt in his bones. The squad is pinned down by mortar fire. A shell lands close. Dirt and shrapnel rain down. The radio crackles. Wounded in the crater. Need evac. Miller guns the engine, wheels spinning, mud flying. He hauls the Jeep into the shell hole, loads 2 wounded men, and floors it. The engine runs hot, radiator patched with tin and wire. The temperature gauge climbs. Miller talks to the Jeep, coaxing it forward. The engine coughs, but never quits. Mission 5. The convoy is ambushed. Machine guns chatter from the trees. Bullets snap past the windshield. Miller ducks, slams the Jeep into gear, and swerves off the road. The squad returns fire, rifles cracking, grenades arcing into the brush. The Jeep takes a hit. Shrapnel tears a hole in the fender. Miller feels the sting of metal, the rush of adrenaline. He keeps driving. The engine sputters, but the farm boy fix holds. The Jeep makes it back to base, battered but alive. Mission 8, a river crossing. The bridge is gone, blown by retreating Germans. The squad leader points to the water. We ford here. Miller hesitates, then nods. He ties a tarp over the hood, seals the exhaust with a rag, and eases the Jeep into the river. Water rises to the doors. The engine gurgles, exhaust bubbling underwater. Miller's homemade valve keeps water out. The Jeep crawls up the far bank, coughing but running. The squad cheers. The other drivers shake their heads in disbelief. Mission 10. The Jeep tows a broken half-track off the road. The engine strains, gears grinding, but Miller coaxes it forward. The squad pushes, shouts, curses. The Jeep pulls the half-track clear, then collapses in the mud. Miller climbs out, wipes sweat from his brow, and checks the engine. The patch holds. The Jeep lives. Mission 12. Night run through enemy lines. The squad moves in silence, headlights off, only the moon to guide them. The Jeep's lights are shot out in an ambush. Miller navigates by starlight, hands tight on the wheel, heart pounding. The engine hums, steady and low. The squad reaches the drop point, unloads supplies, and slips back into the dark. The Jeep never falters. Mission 15. The Jeep is hit by debris from a mortar round. The fuel line is shredded, gas pouring onto ground. Miller grabs wire and tape, patches the line, and primes the pump. The engine sputters, then catches. The squad leader grins. You're a miracle worker, Tom. Miller shrugs, wipes his hands, and drives on. Each night, Miller works by lantern light. He tightens bolts, patches leaks, wipes oil from the block. His hands are raw, nails black with grease. He prays the fix will hold. The other mechanics watch in the shadows, waiting for failure. They whisper, "It's just luck. It can't last." Miller ignores them. He trusts his hands, his father's lessons, the stubborn heart of machine. The missions blur together. 17 in 30 days. Each one a gauntlet, mines, mud, machine guns, mortars. Miller's Jeep hauls ammo, rations, wounded men. It tows broken vehicles, fords rivers, dodges, ambushes. The squad starts to believe. The officers take notice. The squad leader, Sergeant Davis, starts assigning Miller to the toughest runs, night missions, supply drops, wounded evacuations. If anyone can make it, it's you, Tom. Miller nods, loads a Jeep, and drives into the dark. The legend of the farm boy fix grows. Drivers from other units come to see the Jeep. They run their hands over the patched engine, shake their heads, ask Miller for advice. He shows them the gasket, the hand-cut valve, the trick with the grease and soap. Some try it, some fail. Miller's Jeep keeps going. But the war is not over. The danger is not gone. Every mission is a risk. Every mile is a test. Miller knows the odds. He knows the cost. He knows that one mistake, one broken part, could mean the end. The tension never fades. The Jeep keeps rolling. The legend grows. The impossible is still ahead. Mission 16. The rain is relentless. The road is a river of mud, swallowing boots, sucking at tires. Miller's hands are numb, knuckles white on the wheel. The Jeep's patched engine coughs, spits, then settles into a stubborn growl. The squad is pinned down by mortar fire. The radio crackles. Supplies needed. Now. Miller guns the engine, mud spraying in all directions. The Jeep lurches forward, bouncing over craters, dodging shell holes. The squad leader shouts, "Go, Tom." Miller doesn't look back. The Jeep climbs a ridge, engine straining, gears grinding. The temperature gauge climbs. Miller smells burning oil, feels the heat through the floorboards. He talks to the Jeep, coaxing it up the last hill. The engine knocks, but the farm boy fix holds. The Jeep crests the ridge, bullets snapping past the windshield. Miller ducks, keeps driving. The squad unloads the supplies, shouts their thanks, and Miller turns back into the storm. Mission 17. The final run. The The squad is ordered to evacuate wounded from a forward position. The road is mined, the forest thick with enemy patrols. Miller checks the engine one last time. The gasket is frayed, the valve patched with wire and hope. He loads a jeep, 3 wounded men, 2 medics, a crate of morphine. The engine sputters, then roars to life. The convoy moves out. Miller leads, headlights off, eyes straining in the dark. The jeep bounces over roots, mud splattering the windshield. The engine coughs, but never quits. The squad hits a minefield. The lead truck is lost. Miller's jeep weaves through the craters, tires slipping, engine whining. The medics shout, "Faster, Tom." Miller grits his teeth, pushes the jeep harder. Enemy fire erupts from the trees. Bullets tear through the canvas top. Miller ducks, keeps driving. The jeep takes a hit. Shrapnel slices a radiator hose. Steam billows from the hood. Miller grabs a rag, ties it tight, and pours water from his canteen into the radiator. The engine hisses, but holds. The jeep keeps moving. The squad reaches the American lines. The jeep, battered and smoking, rolls to a stop. The wounded are carried to safety. The medics clap Miller on the back. The squad leader grins. 17 missions, Tom. You did it. Miller slumps in the seat, exhausted, hands burned but alive. The other mechanics gather around. They stare at the engine, patched, battered, but still running. The officers shake their heads in disbelief. The farm boy Fix has survived 17 missions in 30 days. The Jeep is a legend. The war moves on. The front shifts. The Jeep is reassigned, but the story spreads. Other drivers ask Miller for advice. The mechanics take notes, copy his tricks. The officers remember the Jeep that wouldn't die. The laughter is gone, replaced by respect and a new sense of possibility. Miller stands by his Jeep, hands in his pockets, eyes on the horizon. He knows the odds. He knows the cost. He knows that sometimes the simplest fix is the one that saves lives. The legend of the farm boy engine fix is born, not in a factory, but in the mud, the cold, and the stubborn heart of a soldier who refused to quit. The Jeep keeps rolling. The legend grows. The impossible has become real. March 31st, 1945. The Hurtgen Forest is a graveyard of trees and steel. The Jeep sits at the edge of a muddy road, battered and scarred. Paint is scorched, tires worn to cords, canvas top shredded by shrapnel. The engine ticks, coughing smoke into the cold morning air. Private First Class Tom Miller wipes grease from his hands, jaw clenched, eyes red from sleepless nights. The squad gathers around. Sergeant Davis reads the orders. Last run. We evacuate the wounded, bring back ammo, and lead the convoy out. Enemy fire expected. Bridges are unstable. We move in 10. The men nod, faces drawn, nerves frayed. They know the risks. They know the cost. Miller checks the engine one last time. The homemade gasket is frayed, the valve patched with wire and hope. He tightens every bolt, listens to the rattle and hum. The mechanics watch, silent now. No more jokes. No more laughter. Just respect and a little fear. The convoy forms up. Trucks, half-tracks, 2 other jeeps. Miller's jeep leads. The wounded are loaded. 3 men, pale and silent, bandages stained with blood. The medics climb in, clutching morphine and hope. Miller slides behind the wheel, hands raw, heart pounding. He turns a key. The engine sputters, coughs, then roars to life. They roll out. The road is a river of mud, cratered by shells, littered with debris. The Jeep bounces, tires slipping, engine whining. Miller feels every jolt in his bones. The radio crackles, enemy fire ahead. Keep moving. Bullets snap past the windshield. Mortar shells burst in the trees, raining dirt and shrapnel. Miller ducks, grits his teeth, keeps driving. A bridge looms ahead, wooden planks, half-burned, sagging over a swollen creek. The lead truck hesitates. Miller guns the engine, splashes through the water, boards creaking under the weight. The Jeep makes it across. The convoy follows one by one. The bridge collapses behind them, timbers crashing into the current. There's no going back. The squad pushes on. The The forest closes in, shadows deep and cold. The Jeep hauls wounded men, dodges shellfire, weaves through fallen trees. The engine sputters, temperature gauge climbing. Miller talks to the Jeep, coaxing it forward. Come on, girl, just a little farther. The engine knocks, but never quits. Enemy fire erupts from the ridge. Machine guns rake the road. Miller swerves, mud flying, windshield splattered. The medics shout, "Faster, Tom." The Jeep lurches, engine screaming, but keeps moving. The squad returns fire, rifles cracking, grenades arcing into the brush. The Jeep takes a hit, shrapnel slices a radiator hose. Steam billows from the hood. Miller grabs a rag, ties it tight, pours water from his canteen into the radiator. The engine hisses, but holds. The convoy reaches a crossroads. The road ahead is blocked by a burning truck. Miller backs up, wheels spinning, finds a narrow path through the trees. The Jeep squeezes through, branches scraping the sides, engine growling. The squad follows, headlights flickering in the gloom. The final stretch. The American lines are a mile away. The radio crackles. Shelling intensifies. Move now. Miller's hands shake, arms aching, but he refuses to quit. The Jeep bounces over roots, mud splattering the windshield. The engine coughs, sputters, but never dies. The squad breaks through the last line of trees. The American camp is ahead, tents, trucks, medics waving. The Jeep, engine smoking, rolls to a stop. The wounded are carried to safety. The men cheer, slap Miller on the back, shout his name. The mechanics gather around, eyes wide, mouths open. They stare at the engine, patched, battered, but still running. Sergeant Davis grins, claps Miller on the shoulder. 17 missions, Tom. You did it. Miller slumps in the seat, exhausted, hands burned, but alive. The Jeep is a legend. The war moves on. The front shifts. The Jeep is reassigned, but the story spreads. Other drivers ask Miller for advice. The mechanics take notes, copy his tricks. The officers remember the Jeep that wouldn't die. The laughter is gone, replaced by respect and a new sense of possibility. Miller stands by his Jeep, hands in his pockets, eyes on the horizon. He knows the odds. He knows the cost. He knows that sometimes the simplest fix is the one that saves lives. The legend of the farm boy engine fix is born, not in a factory, but in the mud, the cold, and the stubborn heart of a soldier who refused to quit. The Jeep keeps rolling. The legend grows. The impossible has become real. The convoy limps back to the motor pool. The sun is setting, painting the sky in streaks of orange and gray. The ground is thick with mud, boots squelching as men unload the wounded. Miller parks the Jeep in its usual spot, engine ticking, steam curling from the patched radiator. He sits for a moment, hands on the wheel, feeling the ache in his arms and the relief in his chest. Word spreads fast. The mechanics gather around, eyes wide, faces smeared with grease. They crowd the Jeep, running hands over battered hood, peering into the engine bay. The homemade gasket, the baling wire, the hand-cut valve, every fix is inspected, every patch admired. The men who once laughed now ask questions, scribble notes, shake their heads in disbelief. 17 missions, 30 days, not a single breakdown. The division commander arrives, boots polished, uniform crisp. He circles the Jeep, eyes sharp, taking in every dent and scar. He asks Miller to pop the hood. The commander leans in, studies the engine, then straightens and offers his hand. You saved lives, Private. You kept this unit moving when nothing else would. Miller shakes his hand, pride burning in his chest. A photographer snaps pictures. Miller standing by the Jeep, grease on his face, uniform torn, but smiling. The patched engine becomes a symbol. The photo is pinned to bulletin board, passed from tent to tent, sent home in letters. The story spreads one farm boy fix, 17 missions, 0 breakdowns. The Jeep is a legend. Miller is promoted. The ceremony is simple, a new stripe, a handshake, a few words from commander. The men clap him on the back, offer cigarettes, slap his shoulder. The laughter is gone. replaced by admiration and a new respect for the old ways. The officers take notice. They ask Miller to teach his tricks to the other mechanics. The farm boy fix becomes part of the unit's lore. The Jeep is assigned to the division headquarters. It hauls officers, carries messages, leads convoys. The patched engine never quits. The mechanics keep it running, proud to be part of the legend. The Jeep is photographed again and again. Its scar is a badge of honor. Miller keeps working. He teaches, he fixes, he drives. He remembers every mile, every mission, every moment when the engine could have failed but didn't. He knows the cost, friends lost, nights spent in the cold, the constant fear of breaking down behind enemy lines. But he also knows the reward, the respect of his peers, the pride of a job done right, the knowledge that sometimes the simplest solution is the best. The war moves on. The front shifts. New Jeeps arrive, shiny and untested. But the old Jeep, the one with the farm boy fix, keeps rolling. The legend grows. The laughter is gone. In its place, a quiet admiration, a new respect for the old ways, and the memory of a soldier who refused to quit. The motor pool is quiet now. The men drift away. The lights go out. Miller stands by his Jeep, hand on the hood, eyes on the horizon. He knows the story will be told and retold, growing with each telling. He knows the truth. The fix was never just about the engine. It was about grit, about hope, about the will to keep going when everyone else said it was impossible. The war ends, but the story of Miller's Jeep rolls on. Army engineers study the patched engine, tracing every wire, every gasket, every clever fix. They take notes, run tests, and update the maintenance manuals. The farm boy approach, improvisation, resourcefulness, and stubborn faith in simple solutions, becomes a lesson for every new mechanic in the field. The old rules are rewritten. The best fix isn't always in the book. Miller's Jeep is retired from service, but not forgotten. It's clean, polished, and placed on display in a military museum. The paint is still chipped, the tires worn, the engine bay a patchwork of wire and hope. A small plaque tells the story. 17 missions, 30 days, 0 breakdowns. Private First Class Tom Miller's Farm Boy Fix save lives and change minds. School children press their faces to the glass, listening to guides tell the tale of the Jeep that wouldn't die. Veterans visit, some with tears in their eyes, remembering the cold, the mud, the fear, and the relief when Miller's Jeep rolled into camp, engine still running. Mechanics from every generation stopped to study the engine, to marvel at the ingenuity, to wonder if they would have done the same. The legend grows, passed from one class to the next, from one war to another. The farm boy fix becomes more than a story. It's a symbol of grit, of hope, of the power of never giving up. It reminds everyone that sometimes the simplest ideas are the ones that save lives. The documentary closes with a call to remember the men who risked everything, who trusted their hands and their hearts, and who proved that even in the darkest times, a little ingenuity can change the world. Miller's Jeep stands as a testament, not just to one mechanic, but to every soldier who refused to quit, every mind that dared to try, and every life saved by a simple, stubborn idea. The legend endures. The engine still runs. The story is never over.